taking care of business with Allsopp and Allsopp. We're here today to talk about what's gone on in our business, what things you need to know about the successes, the failures, the Dubai real estate, owning a business at 22, and Carl, you must have been
24.
20.
The weight gains.
The weight gain, serious.
The different types of suits.
Hairstyles.
Bad meals.
Dealing with hair, declining hair.
Yeah,
Declining.
all really, all good and bad things. So, obviously we're talking about, from the beginning.
Yeah.
Tell me about where it all started for you.
So I came to Dubai in
Let's take a step back. Talk to you about your real first job.
My real first. Selling thermocouples I was. You know
I
I was.
that. Overalls. Lovely overalls.
I had.
Name badge, Lewis. Hi, I'm Lewis.
Well, people need to know your name, don't
Okay,
they?
yeah.
So I was selling thermocouples and PCBs, which are like the...
I don't know what any of this means,
they're
by the way.
like electric boards within boilers.
So
I was
basically
selling
like a heating man.
I was the heating king.
Yeah,
mate.
okay.
I used to work on the front desk and I would sell my heating spares.
Yeah.
And I think I was there for about a year, and it was like a warehouse with a front of shop where I would go and literally, it'd be like Tesco, someone would be like, "Hi, I'd like a new thermocouple." I'm like, "Yes, it's £10, please. Are you sure you don't want to add in there a new lighter for your boiler?" I don't think you sound like
No.
that.
And then, obviously, a year of wearing overalls.
Saved my life.
Saved you.
You did say
You followed me. Listen, you call Big Brother. You followed me into a estate agency.
Carl, please help me.
Help me.
I don't want to sell heating spares anymore.
Tell everyone the story about your interview. You went with a good old friend of ours, Billy.
Yeah.
And did you have to do like a group interview about a boat?
We would never do this. I remember now thinking, how do you figure out if someone's good or not? They were like, you're on a boat, you've got some string, rope, and a rubber pencil.
So it was an open day, career day.
There's like 10 people in a room.
Yeah.
And they were like, okay, what can you do on a boat with this rubber pencil? I'm like, what's that got to do with selling the house? But they obviously their theory is that mad American thing, isn't it? Where they're like
about team building, how you react.
how you react.
How the hell did you get a job, by the way? Who always
I played
questions.
football with the lads there, didn't I? We had Berkey there, the lad we played football in the Sunday League with, who got us the job. It was like,
so basically a job through friendship, and I was there.
Relationships is key in business.
Very big.
So yeah, I was there from then. I followed you into the job, and then obviously I got better at the job than you.
No way. No way.
So yeah, that would have been 2004. I reckon that was.
So you were 17. We started real estate.
Lovely hair. I had the Tony and Guy haircut.
Can you just explain to people Tony and Guy, what actually your haircut was? So there's a photo of Lewis in the newspaper. Talk people through
terrible. That. So I used to go Tony and Guy, and you used to go as well.
Yeah.
You had terrible haircuts.
Yeah, we did.
Well. Yeah. And I remember at the time I'd have. Went in there and I said, "Do what you want to do to me." I said, "I don't care." Cool. And I'd never imagine me doing that now. I'd absolutely I'd be scared to death. And we're going in there and said, "Okay, do what you want to me." And they come out and they said, my hair was in like a side part end. I had more hair on the front at that time, and they'd dye the tips red here on the front
and back wings.
The back they would cut, shaved down the middle, but kept it long on the back. So I had wings. So I used to jowl that bit there. So so I'd go out with like two wings here.
How the hell did they allow you to put your picture on a business card?
I don't know.
Your picture on the business card with two big bat wings hanging out.
As well, I was 17, not spotty at the time as well.
So we worked in a state agency in Coventry.
Yeah.
Many years ago. Was it 16, 17?
16 years ago.
Yeah. What was it like working together back then? To now, how different was it?
It was different. I mean, back then we were in separate offices quite a while. So even though we were never really in competition, because you were doing the value and you were taking house on, I was a negotiator with a guy called Matt Costello that now runs our UK offices. So the relationship's been a long standing thing. But it's just mad that you think about 60 years. I was talking to someone yesterday and I said to someone, "Oh, you have been a estate agent for 16 years," and someone's 25. I was like, "You'll be 11 when I start an estate agent." So, oh my God, I'm getting
showing our age here, big time.
Oh no, yeah, but no, it's cool. It was great standings for big, I suppose, selling houses around the world.
Do you think anything you'd done back then, so estate agency back then, helped at all go moving to Dubai?
Yeah, definitely. It's moving people into houses. I think you can do that anyway, can't you? I mean, you've done it. You've come over here, been successful. You did it in England. There's one key statistic is you speaking to a person and finding out what they want and moving to a house. And it's not. I think people listening to estate agents will think it's a difficult job, and it just isn't.
Yeah.
It's about listening to someone's needs and not pushing down their throat what you think you're going to sell them.
Can you remember your funniest or worst experience? I can remember mine.
I got sacked from my company we're talking about now, but that was my worst experience. I got sacked out of my jobs. I think I have 4. I think 2 or 3 of them I got sacked from. I think the last one
honestly, working with Lewis is unmanageable.
It is unmanageable.
He's like a hurricane, but a magician.
I remember saying to my last boss, I was like, you can't sack me. I'm number 1 in the company. They went, all right, we'll see about that. Goodbye. And I think that day I went out the night before, and then I fell asleep in my car and missed my viewing.
Oh.
The clients found out.
I remember having a very similar experience where I had a massive ego, and it's not a good thing. One of my worst experiences was I went to go do a viewing. Park the car on the drive, which is a no-no anyway on this property. The couple turn up to do a viewing, go and look around the house, lovely bungalow, do the viewing, doing pleasantries as they leave. Thanks, goodbye. We'll give you a call for some feedback. They've gone walking over to their car. I've jumped to my car. At the time I was 18, a bit of a Jack the Lad boy racer. I jumped to my Peugeot 206, thinking I was dead cool, rushing off to my next viewing, jumped in the car, reversed off the drive, which was quite a steep drive, reversed off the drive and brought down the whole front wall of the house.
Sorry, Mrs. Smith, your house was a little bit less than I just valued it for.
The owners weren't even there, so it was a vacant house. So I had to ring them up. The boss maybe rang me up and said, what happened? And I had to pay for the whole brick wall whilst on holiday to be fixed. Weren't a good thing at all. Not a good sale, that one. Not a good sale. But yeah, so I mean, I've been here now, since 2006, and from 2004, I think when I fell asleep in my car and lost my job, I think that was the best thing that ever happened to me, because from there I also have a theory that I think that there's a mix between timing and destiny. I think you've got to get both together. Do you know, before you moved out to Dubai, then obviously lose your job, tell people about your period on X Factor. I think the period X Factor. I've got a voice. You auditioned. No, I tell you what, I would go on X Factor. You want to hear his singing? It's really bad. My singing is like up there. No, it's like not. Semi-professional. It's not professional. So I watched ITV, didn't I? And I remember watching ITV. And it wasn't X Factor I was watching. X Factor on ITV, isn't it? And it was about Dubai. And it was saying how it's a booming city. Yeah. And I remember taking a job there and calling them and saying, "You're right, yeah. Do you want I'm looking to come over. I'm an estate agent." And they were like, "Yeah, no problem. When did you start?" And I was like, "Oh my god, this is a little bit easy." And I jumped on the flight and came. So basically said, "Come here, just take a job." Basically, it's like 90% of real estate companies in Dubai now. Wow, got in there. Shots fired. So I remember you telling me, because obviously these back then there was no WhatsApp. Yeah. It was like WAP. SMS. Wireless application protocol. This was like old school. So like me and you exchanged the odd message every now and then. Like, tell me your first few days in Dubai in real estate. What was it like? It's madness. I mean, the first day I joined, the guy that I worked for actually stitched me up, and I remember him saying to me, "Look, we're going to work. You've got an office in the Grosvenor House Hotel. You've got a company mobile for you. You've got a list of clients. Blah blah blah." I was like, "Oh, brilliant!" So I remember I left Dad, obviously, and yourself and family, and left us. Left us. I abandoned you to go to another country. Anyway, so there's a big hole in our family since that point. We celebrated. Whoa, he's gone. It was not a happy family anymore. Anyway, so I'd gone there, and I remember turning up at the first day in Dubai, and the guy was like, "Here's our office." He's like, "You got to pretend that you're staying at the Grosvenor, and you're going to the business centre." I was like, "Okay," because this is your office. I'm sitting there. I'm like, 401 Grosvenor Suites, and they were like, "There's no such thing as," and I just kept going in every day. But did you not make you? So you start a new job in a hotel where you weren't staying. He told me there's no office. He told me he had an office, and I remember not telling him. Did you not have a Dubai phone either? I got a phone bill through the first month of 600 quid. Yeah. And I was like, "Oh my god, I've not even made 600 quid. I haven't got a 600 quid." And it was just a nightmare. Like, I got lied to out of my teeth, and that's one thing that. I suppose that's the difference between someone that perseveres and succeeds, is that I knew I had to stay there, and you have to find a way. I think a lot of people at that pride was keeping you there. I had my leaving party. I literally had 30 people go to England, and we had a party. And 30 days. I'm going to become better, coming back. I can't come back. Like, oh yeah, okay, it didn't work. Leaving party don't count.
Going back to eating spares, it's fine.
I'd get that job still, you know.
Yeah, good.
Still got that job. But yeah, it was it was amazing moving to Dubai. I mean, it was life changing. Yeah, our mum cleaning our clothes and doing our beds, and I go, oh my bed don't make itself anymore.
It was a huge journey now because obviously you've gone from selling heating spares to the estate agent to on X
You're
Factor.
going to say dance on ice, aren't you?
Dance on ice, and then in
Too big for
Dubai.
dancing on ice. I'm 6'4". I think I'll fall over.
You had a bit of a guardian angel, didn't you?
Yes, Wendy Stapleton. She said to me, she was a lady that she owns a company in Ras Al Khaimah, the market leader called Hunt Harris, and she said to me, Lewis, this is not a company, you need to come and join me. And I went to go and join the Allsopp and Allsopp of today, the biggest in the market at the time. And that job and her saved me dramatically. She put a credit card down for me and just said, don't worry about it. I'll get you a
she
car.
got you a job.
She got me a job, car, got me a company accommodation, and like saved my life. So that's why I'm a big believer in Carm. I'll always look out for her if I ever see her around and give her a hug and say thank you every time I see her, because she pretty much saved me from not making it in Dubai. I might have made it, but this lady really hooked me up. So yeah, that was my guardian angel. And I think I was there for a year, and I remember calling you. I was like, kid, you wouldn't believe it. I started doing really well, didn't I? And I started to call you, and I was like, I know you're doing well in England and you're getting £1,000 fees. I've just made 70 grand. And you were like, what?
I didn't believe it, I'll be honest with you.
You didn't believe it. I remember you telling Mum as well, you were like, Mum, he'll be back in a few months.
Oh, I did. I thought you'd be back. I was like, yeah, don't worry, Mum, we'll be back. A few months, you'll be back.
And then I remember I started putting pictures online. I was like 20 at the time. I had a Hummer, didn't I? And I got a Hummer. And I had a Porsche Cayenne, the gold champagne colour.
Lovely that was. Great hairstyles. Well, I remember like a big swooping flick.
It was lovely. Yeah. But yeah, I remember just thinking, wow, it's really starting to take. I remember calling you and saying to you, you need to come because of this. And you didn't believe me. And then I showed you.
I was in my comfort zone. I was back here, I was doing well, I was safe, and there was no reason to come out. But I come out on holiday, and I think at the time, I come out on holiday with my now wife.
Yeah.
And it was like, wow, this is like a whole other world. And it got me thinking. But I don't think, unless me and my wife
Emma
at the time, Emma,
my wife.
I know.
My wife. You're gonna see her tonight. Good morning, evening,
wife.
My wife.
How are you? Good morning,
my wife.
Make me breakfast, wife.
She's gonna love hearing that. Wife, walk the dogs.
Change the children's nappy, wife. No, we actually split up. So I don't think had we not split up, I don't think I would have moved to Dubai.
No.
That was my trigger. I think a lot of people move here. They do run away from something, don't they?
Or running towards something. There's two things that they're definitely doing.
So obviously I moved out here and saved you.
Did?
Yeah.
Thanks so much for saving me.
Brother.
Yeah. I know. Yeah. Did you lie on my bed of money that I made you at the time?
I was a best man a couple of weeks ago for my best mate Jamie, and I was saying that when we moved out here, we lived on your sofa.
We did, yeah.
It was probably as clean as the floors in some horrible neighbourhood in
I'm
the
not
UK.
being funny. It was free, wasn't it?
It was dirty.
It was free.
The floors were cleaner than your sofa. Anyway, I was sleeping on your sofa for a couple of weeks, and then finally ended up getting a job, a company called Legion.
Yeah.
And done a deal on the second day.
Yeah, I remember. No training.
No training. Didn't know what I was doing. They just said, there you go. Great people there, to be fair. I'm not going to say anything bad about them, but it was, look, do this, ring this, and I fell into the deal the second day, quite lucky. But I honestly believe that with moving here, it was such a daunting thing. I just don't think that. I don't think I would have done it without that little thing that happened to me in my life. But
bearing in mind, if you think about this, how mad social media is now, you can go on Instagram, hypothetically, and you can look at Dubai.
Yeah.
You can, when
I don't remember, it was social media around it?
Facebook was
don't stay in, that was the thing.
Don't stay in MySpace.
Yeah.
And all these accounts, but I don't think anyone was really into video sharing. It was basic, so you couldn't really gauge what it was like. I remember when I moved, Mum said to me, she was like, "Why are you going there, son? It's just camels and sand." I was like, "Right, you're gonna have to come in and have a look at it." And I guess that's the preconception a lot of people have.
So obviously, I moved here, saved you.
Yeah, thanks.
Sleeping on your lovely clean sofa.
You made it dirty if you were staying there.
No way. No way. It smelled. It wasn't good.
Because you were sleeping on it.
So obviously I found a job, didn't give me a job. So at the time you were running a developer.
That was an amazing
and I was like,
job.
What's going on here? Why is he not giving me a job?
You didn't cut a mustard, kid. I interviewed you. You didn't.
Cold.
I can't believe it. Do you know what?
Didn't even
the more I
interview you,
thought about it, I didn't give you a job. That blew my mind when I think about it. Listen, it's sink or swim, weren't it? I say you got to make it yourself.
Pride as well. I didn't even ask you. was like, go and fend on my own. That's my thing.
Living on my sofa. So I was only working with me and living on my sofa, stinking my office out as well.
So you were working for a developer then, weren't you?
Yeah, amazing job that was. I remember. So I would have been 21. It was a year before we set Allsopp up. And I remember this guy called me when I was at a company called Parkvale, and the guy called me and said, we're launching this development, I'm waiting to come and sell it. And I said, yeah. Anyway, I booked an interview and didn't turn up to the interview. Standard me again.
Yeah,
young, crazy Lewis. I was like, look, I'm making too much money, I'm happy doing what I'm doing. So I stayed where I was. And he called me about 3 months later and said, look, I know you didn't turn up, can you come and meet me? So when I was going to meet him, I turned up and said, I'm just going to go and chat to the guy. And it ended up with this massive project. I'm talking like 400 townhouses, commercial towers, resident. It was massive. And he was like, right, we need you to run the company. I said, we're going to launch a real estate arm, and we'll give you the trade license, you'll design the logo, the office, you're going to hire the people. The office when I walked in there was just marble floors, and there was nothing. It was an EMAR business park we were in, and he said, "Wanting to launch it." So I remember this is how we really got into set Allsopp. After a year of working there, we'd set up the company. We've got one of the best sales forces for a developer at the time for a small company. We had the structure, we had the payroll, everything set up. We were in the paper, we'd done the launches, and after a year, we'd sold everything out. It was one of the best jobs I ever had, and
I remember the marketing. When I moved over, I always remember like the yarn of wall.
Yeah, I don't know what it was about.
Wall, real estate.
We're rolling out. No, because it was like we're rolling out to the law. I don't know what I was doing.
It's strange.
It was
marketing's not your thing. I'll be honest with you.
dirhams to go on the front page of Gulf News. It was. I spent their money, but it worked. I sold it out.
You did.
Yeah, I remember we sold it all out, and it was an amazing job. And this is how we got to Allsopp. And also, once I sold that out, you were working for Allegiant still, I think. And I remember talking to you and just saying, I can't do this anymore because I'd sold everything. And I said, we could do this job as an estate agent better than anyone else. I can't carry on doing my job.
I felt that being at where I was when I first started. Honestly, I was there in Dubai for 3-4 months as a broker, and I thought, like, is this like the absolute pinnacle of real estate? Because we come from a background where everything was so structured, it was rigid, and you had to do X, Y, Z, and I don't know, like, it was such a brave move back then. I think if we thought about it too much, we never would have done it.
If you think about it, I was thinking about this the other day. I was saying, wow, what crazy move. So we agreed to do it. I'd left behind the job, which was massive basic.
Yeah.
Massive. So I literally quit one of the best jobs you could probably get in the market at the time to start a company. I remember my basic went down from, I think at the time, I was paid like £10,000 basic.
Yeah.
And when we set up Allsopp, we paid ourselves £500 a month.
Yeah.
And I remember there's no override, there was no nothing else, and literally it was enough to cover our rent and hope that we'd make some money. And I remember
we couldn't. Well, good job. Your car was paid outright because we had no money to pay for a car or anything like that.
I remember when we started the company, it was like 1 million dirhams was total sell of our business approximately. And I remember we paid him one check, I think, for the rent.
Stupid. You got our pants pulled down.
Which was a 5,000 square foot office, massive for 4 people.
Yeah.
And then we fitted out the office, but we could only fit it out. It's like a 5-bedroom villa. We could only afford to fit out 2 bedrooms.
Oh,
no. So we had no tables. So we had to lock the other bedrooms, didn't we? So what's in there?
Clients were coming around, naturally doing contracts, and there were a new company on the block, and they were like, "Oh, can you show us around the offices?" And they were like, "Yeah, we've got the boardroom here. It's nice.
Don't go any further than that."
Upstairs, under renovation, doors are locked, so it looks a bit shifty. But we couldn't afford anything, could we?
No, we couldn't afford the doors. We couldn't afford
the tables, the chairs.
I remember speaking to you, and you come to the office. You went, "Lou, we need a boardroom door." Do you remember this?
Yeah.
And you went.
It was open, wasn't it?
It was
basically a dining room.
It was a dining room, yeah, with a table. And we got meetings take place. I said, "Carl, we haven't got any money. We haven't got any money." And I went, "All right. So what we'll do, the first bit of profit that we have, we're going to buy a bed." And next month we bought
we did.
We bought the thing. But that's how we've run our business since day one. I mean, it's all organic, isn't it?
Really organic. I mean, every little bit of money we've had, really for the first 6.5, 7 years, everything's gone back into it.
Yeah.
And I just think, like, when we started out, every bit of money went back into the business. But I think very early on, some funny stories to tell, very early on, we kind of, say we made it.
I had the CEO title and you had the MD title, and we were like, we've done it.
Young lads, 20, I think I was 24 and you were 22.
Yeah.
Or 21, 20, 23. And it was like, maybe we got a bit big for our boots too soon. We got like 9, 10 staff. And we started at the start of recession 2008. Yeah. I mean, that was crazy.
I don't think we took our foot off the gas until year 1.5, 2.
Yeah.
And I think we had 10, 15 staff, and we were like, oh, you know, we know how to make money. And I remember me and you at that point, we were going to sit in our office, and it's such a small company, you can't carry a CEO MD.
Yeah, there's large parts of the day where you weren't visible.
Which in that environment,
crazy.
It is, you know, the CEO MD of a small business or small enterprise should be, in my opinion, the cornerstone for the sales, marketing.
Yeah.
That they are literally the captain on the field. And if any SME that is 10, 15, 20 deep and their owner of the company isn't there, that's not going to be a successful business, because you need someone at the forefront doing.
What was it like? So look, before obviously talk a bit more about that, that's quite important, because do you know what? It probably happens to a lot of companies.
Yeah.
You know, you kind of feel a bit, you've made it too soon. What was it like opening when the recession kicked in? Because at the time we didn't know what was happening. I remember looking at the Gulf News. There's a local guy sitting in the, I think it was a stock exchange. His head was
and we just paid 600 grand for the rent.
For rent, and it's a global meltdown. And then we were like, yeah, it's gonna be fine. Don't worry, you know.
But you know what? That naivety for us was probably our weapon, because the big companies were like, oh my God, we've got overheads. We had no overheads.
Yeah.
And I'm just going, no problem. And it's still our mindset now. We are still like, something's going off in the economy or in the local nations. We're just like, no problem. We'll work within this market and we'll deal with it. And we've just been, our mindset is we're very adaptable. And I remember, if you go through all the things that we've done, every time there's been, whether it's credit notes in Dubai where developers said they wasn't launching their projects, so buyers were given credit but they couldn't use it, we would sell that to other clients. We've done off plan. We've been on every type of journey, and what I've learned about our business is that we're very elastic. We can just move with the market.
What was the craziest sale you could remember back when we first started?
A guy called Brian Williams, is the one you're going to say, isn't it? So Brian did a sale in Abu Dhabi.
Crazy dancer, by the way, Brian.
Oh yeah, very.
I mean, like,
owns a good estate agency in Leamington.
Yeah,
Coventry.
shout out Brian, top man.
To Brian. He didn't know that he'd literally just joined, didn't he?
Yeah.
And he'd done this deal for 2 floors in Abu Dhabi, and I think each floor was 15 million, 16 million dirhams. And he come into me and goes, yeah, okay, look, I've done the deal, it's signed. Bear in mind at this time that there was no regulated contract, so you sign a developer contract. And I remember him coming in and going, yeah, well, I've got 2% off the seller and 2% off the buyer. And what were you on about? You got a 4% deal on like 30 million, which is like our monthly revenue.
Oh, it was unheard of back then.
Blew out the wall. Our heads fell off. We were like, this is amazing.
Unbelievable.
And that's because of just that sheer naivety. Again, it's just like, oh, that's not what you charge.
Yeah.
What about you? What was your craziest deal you remember?
There's quite a few, but a lot of the times where, to be honest, thinking about it now, so how long have we been open? 11 years?
11? It's 12 now.
12. It's just practically every deal was a crazy one, because we were sitting at fax machines. We were sitting at a fax machine on a Thursday night till 10:30 waiting for a contract to come through.
What are you praying for?
It's coming through, the contract's coming through.
Man, when you tell someone that, you go, yeah, we don't, like, now we use DocuSign, so you do it all digitally over the phone, and people don't understand when you go.
Does anyone use fax these days? I don't remember.
I think we've still got a fax number somewhere. I'm sure we have. But I remember just like you'd send it through, we're going to send you the contract, and you hope it comes back and you hear that noise and you celebrate, it's come through.
But the thing is with fax machines, I remember like we were sitting there like till 10, 11 o'clock at night, because you can't go home. And
no, you've got to wait. You got to wait at the fax machine. God, it's mental.
But what about crazy staff members? So when we first started out, we have new company. You don't really know what you're looking for, do you?
My best one we had was, so bearing in mind when we're a new company, you're hiring anyone really, let's say how it is. Yeah. You're just like, we're a new company, believe in what we got. Do you believe in it? And like, you're not really interviewed at that point. You're just like.
I've got one, by the way.
So, and I remember, we hired a guy called Dawood.
Yeah.
And Dawood Safari.
Yes.
He was an absolute monster. He was about my height. It's about 6'4", but he was a bodybuilder. And we didn't turn in one day, and he was like, I said, why ain't you turned in and work? And he was like, I've been to prison last night. I was like, oh my God, what's me you've been to prison? Because I was on the door and I had a big fight, and I hit these 2 guys and I got arrested. Anyway, so fast forward a little bit later on, he ended up leaving the company over Christmas. And I was like, Dawood, you need to give us back our laptop, mate. And he went, no, you want it, you come and get it. I was like, keep the laptop.
Yeah, you don't mess with the dude. He was a scary geezer. Mine was a lady that had a very strong passion for cats.
Oh yeah, the cat lady.
The cat lady,
Russian, weren't she?
Yeah, and what she used to do, she'd come to work and, nice lady, but used to take home probably a cat every day. That was
in the boot though.
In the boot.
She couldn't sell them.
I don't know what she was doing with the cats.
Selling them cats.
She probably sold more. It took more cats home than Southie sold.
She's the biggest cat trader in Dubai now.
So we've hired cat ladies.
Yeah.
We start in a recession. What was it like the first year in business, and then what was it like the second year in business?
I think before we talk about the first year, we're talking about who we're hiring. I want to talk about something that I think we've touched on before. Friends.
X Factor.
The X Factor's great, and that's so nice. Hiring friends.
Okay, so when we started out, we had 4 people, so us 2, 2 of the guys. Both the guys were, both
Billy
our friends.
And Gary, was it?
Billy and Gary, yeah.
So they were working for us, and both really talented. To be honest with you, they're a big part of getting us up and running in terms of you're a new business. They believed in you because you were friends, and you're just hoping that the business does well, and they believe in what you're doing. So we brought these guys on, and we brought a few more. We brought little Jay on, our friend from Coventry, Curtis, the JBR King. I think he sold one house in JBR.
JBR King, but actually spent more time on the JBR beach.
Yeah, it was sunbathing
than in JBR viewings.
Greg, that's gone on to be a real big success in the recruitment industry, and these are all friends of ours from Coventry. And one thing that I've learned about hiring friends is that it's a very difficult line between wanting to work with them and understanding that you can't cross a friendship and work barrier, because I think a lot of people don't understand the difference between friendship and work. And what I mean by that is that we've never been able to say to our friends when you're working together, look, we need your help. We're not doing the money we need to write. And they're like, yeah, it's fine. And there's just no boundaries.
Do you know the biggest problem then, obviously from our experience hiring friends, was they were in their early 20s, we were in our early 20s, and I think in life you don't know what you want in your early 20s. Well, a lot of people in their 20s don't know what they want, and I don't think we could have set the business up without our friends.
Not, no.
But I think as time went by and we were growing, they were probably more of a hindrance than a help.
Yeah, I think that there were certain people that let us down towards the end, and I think that's the lesson that you learn. So we've burnt bridges with people that we don't speak to anymore.
Yeah,
sadly, and that's part and parcel of business. But what I found with all of this is that even if your friends we're talking about that you hire, if they fail for any reason, 50% of the time you're the reason that they failed, rather than looking at themselves. And unfortunately, that goes on to social circles and families and everything else. So if you ask me today, would I hire friends? I probably wouldn't. I'd be very.
Now we wouldn't.
No.
When someone starts a new business,
you have to.
You probably do have to.
We wouldn't be there without these people. But I think the difference is today we've got middle management in place where they wouldn't be working for us. They'd be working for their sales directors and managing directors.
The hardest thing for me, so I've talked about with my best friend, Jamie.
Yeah.
And I remember the day I had to sack him. And these are some of the things that, like with friends, when they're working.
What did he do?
What didn't he do? He didn't turn to work a lot of the time.
He was a legend. He was a big night owl.
Yeah, he loved his.
They all did.
They did, but he not turned to work, and it's like, mate, 5 days in now, you've not turned to work. Come on.
We're like, oh my god, it's a recession.
I know.
We need our life savings on the table, and we're hoping these lads turn.
But telling him to go was like probably one of my more harder things I had to do, because that meant his time in Dubai was over.
Yeah.
And thankfully it worked out because he went home and
but he's become massive success in recruitment now, hasn't he?
Yeah.
But I think that what I would say to anyone listening to this with the starting a business, I think you have to hire your friends, but expect at some point for them to move on. And if it doesn't work out and they don't grow in the business, there can be a bitter taste in
very, very often when we're fortunate we're friends with some people, very often it doesn't end well.
No.
And it can affect friendships.
Because they would stay if they were a success.
Yeah.
But bearing in mind what 90% of new businesses fail.
Yeah, that's true.
So, if the business fails or, they can't afford to keep you on, there's going to be a bad taste that you've stopped them from earning money. Do
you know what? Do you think now, if they're all working here now, do you think it'd be different?
Yeah,
I think it'd be different.
We were all, I don't even go out anymore.
No, I don't.
When I was 22...
Pyjamas, get me in there.
Yeah, you've always been in pyjamas, though. When I was 22 and we started business, I was the guy in the lead in the pack. I was the guy taking people out and going for drinks. Now I'm like, you go for drinks? No, leave me alone.
It just made me think, actually. So... we used to have new starter intakes, and I used to do all the recruitment back in the day. We're jumping ahead a bit myself here, but I used to do all the recruitment. I remember hiring Daz Murphy, and who's our top consultant for the last 4 or 5 years. My first experience with Daz Murphy was he come to see the office. We went out for, get to know each other drinks on that Thursday evening, and we ended up on the dance floor at 3 a.m. in the morning with not much clothes on.
He's always got no clothes on when he gets drunk.
Yeah, so it was like we don't know each other.
Is this when we hired Kempton as well?
Kempton come a couple of years later, but basically we're half naked on the dance floor. Don't know each other, and that was true.
That was not it was
initiation.
9 or 8 years later, he's still there.
He still
gets a little bit naked once in a while. That's funny.
No one wants to see that.
35 now. You can't do that anymore.
So obviously we talk about just getting started. Like what else comes to mind that people can take away from this? Because obviously friends is a big thing.
Yeah. Do you know a big thing for me, if anyone's running a business and is listening to this, one thing that I've learned over time is that owning a business, you're never going to be the hero. And what I mean by that is that if your business is doing bad as the CEO or the managing director, you are to blame. It's never the staff's fault. The staff would never take the blame, even if they're slacking. But what I would say is if the company is doing well, the agents are the heroes, and the CEO or the MD will never get a pat on the back to say, hey, you're running a great business, thanks for bringing the leads in. And I think if you own a business, you have to accept that is part and parcel of owning a business.
Also, very lonely place running a business. And, if you want... everyone's not going to be your friends, and I think sometimes you've got to make decisions that are quite tough and realise that it is a lonely place running a business. And our MD in the UK's experienced that. He finds it quite isolated. Sometimes being on his own or being a part of things, because you can't be the friend and the MD. Yet there has to be a line, because no one takes you seriously otherwise.
Definitely. Well, I think what we need to do is catch up on the next podcast to talk about the trials and tribulations of owning a business in Dubai.
Yeah.
And we'll catch you on the next episode.
See you later.
See ya.
Bye.